On the 5th day of July 2024, thank you so much for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukomwa, and Elizabeth Nakakoni there is with us on sign language. Now, starting off with the Presidential Press Unit, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has cautioned saboteurs of Uganda's progress against any attempt to disrupt the country's peace. Museveni cites unscrupulous people tarnishing the country's reputation before foreign missions, warning of unimaginable consequences. The president communicated this at Kololo Independence Grounds, where Ugandans gathered to celebrate his achievements and that of the NRM government.
We have moved well on that, and in order to do that, we must get rid of all the corruption in the educational system. There are people who think they can disturb Uganda. Ntibagala kutabula Uganda. They go to the embassies. I know which embassies they go to. Go there, drink coffee, eat pancakes and so on, and they are given money. By embassies, foreigners, the war sent. Bubatabule Uganda. Factories affairs zemuraba zetuzimbye. Amashamba gemuraba.
Well, we will be bringing more on this story in a subsequent bulletin. Moving ahead, President Museveni has created the State House Revenue Intelligence and Strategic Operations Unit to do an oversight on Uganda Revenue Authority operations and fight corruption within the tax administration system. The president has also appointed Mr. David Kalemera as a senior presidential advisor and head of the unit. The creation of the unit will help the government to close revenue leakages and boost tax collection. Now, as we head back into the Independence grounds, which took place today, the celebrations that took place today, President Yoweri Museveni cautioned saboteurs of Uganda's progress against any attempt to disrupt the country's peace. Museveni cites unscrupulous people tarnishing the country's reputation before foreign missions, warning of unimaginable consequences. The president communicated this at Kololo Independence Grounds, where Ugandans gathered to celebrate his achievements and that of the NRM party.
Kola ceremonial grounds in Kampala was the press to be on Friday. Ugandans in their thousands gathered to celebrate the achievements and legacy of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Mainly made up of NRM supporters, they converged in big numbers to celebrate 38 years of executive leadership. Museveni was the main celebrant, lauded organizers for organizing his achievements towards the country. In his speech, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni said his 38 years in power has focused on security, which has enabled the country to develop.
Especially some of the opposition groups. There are people who think they can disturb Uganda. Ntibagala kutabula Uganda. They go to the embassies. I know which embassies they go to. Go there, drink coffee, eat pancakes and so on, and they are given money. By embassies, foreigners, but what was sent. Mbubatabule Uganda. Factories affairs zemuraba zetuzimbye. Amashamba gemulaba tusobola tutya okukkiriza nti wabeewo atutabula.
Museveni's remarks did not skip NRM's achievements in social services, including free education, health care, and infrastructure development.
After putting that forward, education for all, immunization for all, security for all, then there was prosperity for all. Bonawa Gawale. We have moved well on that. And in order to do that, we must get rid of all the corruption in the educational system.
Focus also continues to be on prosperity for all and wealth creation through industrialization and factory establishment.
Wealth creation. Sagara abazanyi n'abalorezi njagala bonna babeera bazanyi. Wealth creation buli omu alina okwetaba mu kugoba obwavu mu maka ge. So therefore you, the NRM cadres from up country, ensure that people are encouraged to get involved in wealth creation. Now, on the African side, because you have seen those factories and the farms, the more we produce, the bigger market we need. The internal market of Uganda is not enough. You need to talk with our East African comrades to consolidate the East African common market.
President Museveni also reiterated his move to fight corruption in the country.
The other day, and I would like the IGG to follow it up, I got a delegation from Kagadi, from the Bunyoro, and they were saying our children are not getting jobs because they don't have money to buy jobs. But we are there, we are here. I am here. I have your support. I have the support of the freedom fighters. The other patriots are there. And the victims, the Wananchi, are there. So the three of us are going to crush the corrupt.
On her part, the First Lady, Janet Kataha Museveni, attributed the NRM and Museveni's success to the grace of God.
As a Minister of Education and Sports of the Republic of Uganda, I know that universal education for both primary and secondary education is one of the ways this government has been striving to strengthen the weakest link among our people, to ensure that ignorance can become a thing of the past. And I know that it has not been able to achieve all the objectives of universal education, but we continue to believe that sooner rather than later it will achieve those objectives.
Other celebrants lauded President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for ushering in and sustaining peace, as well as other social and economic services.
Our population in subsistence production used to be at 68%, now they are at 39%. We have increased in revenue collection. We used to collect 5 billion shillings, but now we collect 32 trillion shillings.
It has given us enough security. We really are so grateful for our country. We are very proud. We move everywhere we go. We are so happy, in fact.
That by the time you took up arms together with your other 27 comrades, some of whom are here with us today to celebrate you, Uganda was bleeding, was crying, and desperate for redemption from the brutal leadership of the time.
The occasion was crowned with cutting of the cake, followed by awarding of gifts to the president. Also in attendance was the Vice President Jessica Arupo, the Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, the former Vice President Edward Kiwanuka II, ministers, members of Parliament, religious leaders, cultural leaders, among other dignitaries. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Well, thank you very much there, Deborah Namamond. Now, hundreds of Ugandans this Friday morning thronged Kololo Independence Grounds to celebrate the achievements and legacy of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. This follows Museveni's 38-year tenure at the helm of Uganda's leadership since 1986. The day saw merrymaking, expression of love and joy from congregation, and then characterized by celebrations to appreciate Museveni's legacy and achievements. Let's hear more.
Early morning, precisely at 7 a.m. on Friday, the doors at Kololo Independence Grounds are opened. This is aimed at aiding anxiety-filled Ugandans to access the venue for the long-awaited day. They are here to celebrate achievements and legacy of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
These are all the chairpersons, NRM chairpersons, sub-county chairpersons, and the district chairpersons. They are here with me to celebrate the achievements of His Excellency the President.
And in 1997, we achieved district as an independent district from Moyo. We have been created. Then we have a hospital, that is Dragado. We have a permanent road, which is tarmacked. We have health centers, which are grade 3.
Most, if not all, celebrants are clad in the color of the sun, yellow. The tents, pavilion, and unsheltered grounds are all filled to capacity. As they anxiously wait for the arrival of the main celebrants, the gathering is charmed with entertainment from various artists. Songs, poems, and comedy praising President Museveni's achievements towards the country are publicly displayed. Besides music, the grounds are colored with decorations depicting Museveni's achievements. Then comes the long-awaited moment. The arrival of the president is blessed with clouds gathered to sanctify the day at midday. Come rain, come sunshine, hope no earthquake. The celebrants are more energized to receive the fountain of honor. In company of the First Lady, Janet Museveni, the president arrives to a willing reception by the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, and the NRM Director for Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde. This reinforces celebrations which go on and on and on. What a Friday, and indeed a great day for Uganda. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Well, thank you very much there, Henry Okurut. Now still with the Presidential Press Unit, President Museveni has met and held discussions with members of the Gold Refiners, Exporters and Dealers Association of Uganda at State House Entebbe. During the meeting, President Museveni and his guests discussed how they can further develop the gold refinery sector in the country. President Museveni informed the group that he abolished the tax on unprocessed gold in order to advance the value of the mining sector. President Museveni further noted that the gold refinery industry has managed to flourish in Uganda due to the conducive investment environment that supports business to prosper. On his part, Kunal Lodihe, the chairman of Greater Uganda, thanked President Museveni for his wise leadership and stewardship that has steered development in the country.
The URA collected 3 billion in form of export levy 10% or higher. This is a great milestone, Excellency, towards attaining your vision of levy.
Local currency to buy gold and pile it up, or you insist on dollars. Because we could have an arrangement where, like, can we have an arrangement where we pay, like, for your gold, 20% or 30% of the gold you process? We pay you in local shillings and store it, and then you export 70%. Can we do something like that? Because these people have never studied my economics of 1965, S5, there would be a subject, money. And money is a store of, one of the functions of money is a store of value. Store of value, then a medium of exchange, finish. So if I have gold, I have everything. Why do I have to bother with dollars? It's really a sickness.
So no tax on unprocessed gold.
Now, President Museveni has described the late Elijah Latim as one of the strong patriots who made a tremendous contribution to Uganda. President Museveni made these remarks while meeting members of the family of the late Latim at State House Entebbe. The delegation was led by the Secretary General of National Resistance Movement, Right Honorable Richard Todwang. Now, the movers and seconders of the censure motion against 4 backbench commissioners of Parliament have faulted the office of the Speaker of Parliament and clerk to Parliament for refusing to give them a vehicle, fuel and security as they traverse districts, especially those whose MPs have not yet appended signatures to speak to the electorate. While addressing the media at Parliament, the mover of the motion, Theodore Sechikoba, said they cannot drop the motion for only 7 signatures that are remaining to move it to the next stage.
The exercise of collecting signatures to impeach 2 backbench commissioners of Parliament over giving themselves 1.7 billion shillings in the name of service awards is still on, with the people conducting it saying they remain with only 7 signatures out of the 177 required to have the motion put on the order paper for debate. Parliament has been convening and going on recess, hence affecting the process. This prompted the mover and seconders to move to the constituencies of members of Parliament. However, they have expressed dissatisfaction with the office of the Speaker of Parliament and clerk to Parliament for failure to avail them with parliamentary vehicle, fuel and security to undertake this exercise.
Please process, then you know you are in the thing. Please handle, then you know she's denying. Because once you come now to the clerk says, the Speaker is not being clear.
For transport to do national duty, not allowances. Just a parliamentary van, fuel and security. Now the clerk is telling me, get back the Speaker. I called her yesterday. Why are they fooling us?
Even if we are denied the vehicle, we have our own personal vehicles. We shall use these personal vehicles to reach out to members of Parliament who are in their constituencies.
Because members, if we can fail to table this matter, it is an evidence, it is a verdict that there is corruption here in the parliament. Allow us to have this chance to debate it. Yes. It is just simple. Append a signature. We are not saying this is a verdict. Yes.
One legislator, Joseph Gonzaga Sewungu, is disappointed with MPs from the Democratic Party for declining to append their signatures on the censure motion.
History is going to bear me out that this is the first time we are seeing opposition, a full political party, Democratic Party, coming every day. We are organizing ourselves and all that. And our work is going to be on them after here, because this table will remain here until the motion goes into the House.
Some legislators also shed some light on the issue of arresting former Deputy RCC Rubaga Division Anderson Burora and a female Muslim who was demonstrating at Parliament early this week.
You will do whatever you want to do, but let me tell you, this money which is stolen, it is also helping you. We are fighting for you, we are not your enemies.
I want to call upon the law enforcement agencies. Let us not be high-handed. We are supposed to be guided by the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda.
If you do not want to be criticized, stay in your house. Don't come to politics. Politics you have to tolerate. You caution, you advise, you reprimand. There are lots of ways you can do that. But this level of intolerance you are seeing, we are not happy.
Meanwhile, there was also allegations that goons stormed Parliament and stole the screen and music system that were being used in the parliamentary gym. According to Sechkubo, the accusers want to implicate Parliament security for being incompetent.
So the goons accessed Parliament. They took away the screen, they took away even the music system. But then there is a plot to throw out the police. They want to use that as a pretext to say that the police is incompetent, therefore police should leave Parliament, and they introduce another security agency to protect Parliament.
The censure motion movers have now proceeded to Mbarara, Bushenyi, Arua and then northern Uganda to speak to the electorate and convince them to tell their MPs to sign the censure motion. I'm Navka Farida and Gloria Gwitabinji at Parliament.
Now, Uganda's former vice president and currently a member of the African Union panel of the WISE, Dr. Specioza Wandera Kazibwe, has asked women to stand firm as they demand for their rights. Dr. Kazibwe made these remarks while presiding over the closure of a Sudan Women Peace Dialogue at Speak Resort and Conference Center, Munyanya.
Dr. Wandera Kazibwe, who also doubles as a special advisor to the president on population and health, says that Sudan women have voiced their concerns and must be given a platform.
We shall overcome.
The experienced leader, while addressing women from Sudan, began her remarks with the song We Shall Overcome, as a sign of assuring women that normalcy will soon return in Sudan.
Oh, deep in my heart.
Dr. Wandera Kazibwe says that women in Sudan must be helped to be strong and ensure the legacy of women in leadership is kept on for the young generation.
These young ladies whom I've tried to nurture over time, I want to thank them for also recognizing that wherever we are, wherever we go, we have to do the best we can. And within the spirit of the man who nurtured us, who whispered in the ear of the woman, for the first time in Africa, you come and sit with these men so that we start learning that women must be at the decision-making table. He has continued to whisper to women, and those women whom some you saw yesterday, irrespective of political affiliation, when we are called to serve, we serve diligently. And I want to tell you that all the ambassadors who are women at the African Union, we did tell them that by the fact that you are actually women ambassadors representing countries in Africa, you are automatically members of FEMWISE, so you become mediators. Wherever you are, you speak to the issue of women participating in mediation at every level.
Several women leaders assured fellow women from Sudan that they should not lose hope because life must continue.
This is part of my life, and I will always try to make sure that I'm part of this. As long as I have the platform where I can speak about the issue of Sudan, I will do that, because I know the pain the women are going through. I know even in this house, in this room, there are women who have gone through situations that they cannot talk about. But I'm telling you that you will be healed.
Bineta Diop, Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security from the African Union, thanked Uganda for being hospitable and assured women from Sudan of solidarity.
I wanted to thank you, the women of Sudan. I think the Vice President have said it. Women of Sudan, for your resilience. Not just the issues of victims. We know the pain that you have expressed here. But your determination, your commitment to bring peace in Sudan. Let me just say, we are with you on this journey again. But you allow me also to say, when you go back home, I'm sure that you will take the message back home where you are.
The purpose of this dialogue was to amplify voices and concerns of women and girls of Sudan, enhance coalition building among women, and provide a platform for women to jointly articulate and develop a common vision for rebuilding peace in Sudan. The dialogue also aimed at advocating for the inclusion of women in national decision-making, policy formulation, and implementation processes. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Now, Deputy Director General of Uganda Investment Authority, Paul Chalimpa, has disclosed that 5.9 billion Ugandan shillings over the 6.5 billion Ugandan shillings allocated to Kampala Industrial Business Park project was saved and used appropriately. Chalimpa explained that 500 million in question was paid for extra work performed by employees who are legally sanctioned under the law. Chalimpa was clarifying on the corruption allegations for the construction of Kampala Industrial Business Park.
Uganda Investment Authority has recently been in the spotlight following allegations of a 500 million scandal in corruption alleged by Minister of State for Investment, Evelyn Anite. Deputy Director General, Uganda Investment Authority, Paul Chalimpa, emphasized that these payments were made to employees who took on additional responsibilities related to the project tasks outside their normal duties.
Any public officer who is given additional work beyond the scope of their work shall be given honoraria based on the formula which is provided public service. And it's what we adapted in UIA, Human Resource Manual. And that is also the same which is provided for in the project implementation manual for the project. So this payment is illegal. Now, the question is, why are we having these issues which are in the media?
He says these payments are provided for under Public Service Standing Orders and Uganda Investment Authority's regulations.
The Board of Directors and had their input addressed in the proposal and directed the Executive Director, who is the Director General, to go and implement in line with the policies. Which policies? One, the Project Implementation Manual, which provides for honoraria for deployed staff. Two, the staff were given appointments. Myself, I was given an appointment by the Director General for additional work outside what I was doing. And we did the work, and after the work, we were paid.
He also clarified about misconceptions, emphasizing that emolument is specifically for work outside an employee's contract, unlike overtime, which compensates the extra hours within the same scope of work.
It is not true that the money that is being paid is a loan for construction of the infrastructure project. It is that the loan has two components. One for infrastructure development for the contractor, and another component also which was bought by the government of Uganda for project supervision by UIA and the staff they employ. Both their own staff who are given additional assignments, as well as the staff, project staff whom we employ specifically for the skills which UIA does not have for that project.
Chalimpa stated that the payments were made following legal provisions and were necessary for the project's successful completion.
Now, because we saw paying 25% as interest recharge on transferring the money would be causing a loss to government of Uganda on this money, we agreed with the contractor that for us, whenever we have our budget and we want to pay for project management, we would be paying from this money. And that's what has actually been ongoing. We have a full team, project management team, staff, whose salaries and other benefits, allowances are paid by the contractor from that money.
He also shed light on his resignation, stating that he notified senior officials 3 months prior and that it is not related to the alleged corruption scandal.
My business now needs me more, and I saw many opportunities which I want to take on as an investor now. It is more productive to the country and to myself to create more jobs, to make more money, and to be even more beneficial to the country than being an employee. An employee, President 7 says, you're a parasite.
Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, State Minister of Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, has pledged support towards relocation of investments whose institutions were established in Wetland. Anite, who attributes the presence of manufacturing plants in wetlands to lack of prior guidance, wants investors to embrace relocating to dry land in order to save the environment. This, she said, while touring factories in Kowe, Wekiso district, where she commended Sam's Foods, a local food processing plant, for embracing government gospel of value addition.
Evelyn Anite is a woman always on a mission to take Uganda's investment motion forward. This often she does through routine inspections, with the latest being factories at Nkowe in Wakiso district. She toured various factories, beginning at Westlake, a local water bottling plant. A few minutes later, she headed to a locally established furniture processing formation, among others. She discouraged investors from establishing such businesses in fragile ecosystems.
We agreed that any industry that is in the swamp must move to the dry area.
She would later tour Sam's Food, a local food processing establishment. The proprietor is a former teacher who, alongside his wife, quit the profession to promote value addition on agricultural products.
I feel so much hurt as a Ugandan who has started from zero. And whenever I hear the voice of His Excellency the President calling upon Ugandans to invest in priority areas such as manufacturing and ICT, the moment I see a manufacturer closing down, I really feel so much touched.
Anite, Uganda's State Minister for Investment and Privatization, was impressed.
And I'm happy that from little money of 45,000, he has taken this step to go to the banks and borrow the agriculture credit facility, and has built this multi-billion facility.
She emphasized the need for investors in wetlands to relocate to dry lands.
We have land which is not in the wetland, so I want to ask them to quickly relocate their factories, those who are in the wetlands, to relocate their factories in the dry area, and we will give them the land for free.
Anita pledged tax and power incentives for investors whose capital had hit the recommended figure.
You could see that there's value addition happening on our wood products, and those are some of the products that we've been promoting. Following government's policy or the President's directive on a ban on veneer, I am happy that they have now, the Chinese investors who are actually exporting this veneer have now moved to doing value addition on the veneer wood here in the country. So this is very exciting for us as a country, that we have listening people, but most importantly, I want to ask Ugandans to join the industrialization agenda, because this is the place where you can get the highest return on investment.
1, 2, 3. It remains progressive for the country to have such investments. A journey, Minister Anita says, will go on. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, ECOP. ECOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow of a subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
Hi, my name is Rachel Ndubuchiri, and I am a Ugandan actress and the winner of the Africa Monologue Challenge 2023. Now, thanks to your immense support, the Africa Monologue Challenge Season 2 is coming to Uganda between July 25th and August 20th. Africa Monologue Challenge is looking for passionate Ugandan storytellers to take part in a Pan-African short film that will showcase Uganda to the rest of the world. To be a part of this, all you have to do is weave a captivating narrative that captures Uganda's cultural heritage while fostering connections between 10 diverse individuals from 10 African countries. This short film will be shared to over 50 film festivals. Now, to find information on the AMC 2024 finalists, visit www.africamonologue.com. Please submit your short script, which should be 10 pages for a short film between 10 to 15 minutes, to africamonologue@gmail.com before 30th June 2024. Now, let's talk about rewards. The selected script will have the writer's full name in the end credits. You will get a chance to collaborate with amazing filmmakers from all over the world. You will get a small token for your creativity, and you remain with full ownership of your script. Let's work together to create a Pan-African film that will echo African stories throughout the world.
Welcome back from that short break as we continue. The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Samuel Kazimba Mugalu, who also serves as the Chancellor of Uganda Christian University has decried corruption trends and scandals which have befallen the country and deterred her development. Kazimba was officiating at the 25th graduation ceremony of Uganda Christian University in Mukono.
Addressing the gathering at the 25th graduation ceremony of Uganda Christian University, the University Chancellor, the Most Reverend Dr. Samuel Kazimba Mugalo, who doubles as the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, stressed the urgent need of fighting corruption, which is immensely hindering the country's economic development.
You have made it to the end, but it's just the beginning of your careers. Please keep the values, keep the integrity, be God-fearing, but also remember, this is not the end of it all. You have, the door is still open. Continue studying, and also the field can teach you, because there is a theory, but practical is very, very important. So be good citizens. Let us join together to fight corruption in this country, to fight immorality and everything which is creating problem in our nation.
The Christian-founded university prides in installing godly morals into students, which has fetched them many entrants, especially in the divinity discipline.
Law seems to be more popular here. And the issue is, the reason is simple. Because of integrity issues, moral issues, it has been discovered and proved that the lawyers who graduate from this university, they have a lot of integrity in the field.
Graduates have been implored to use knowledge and integrity to empower others in their communities for economic development.
Empowerment basically is an amplification of the power of the leader. And that's why I truly believe that if you're a servant leader, then you'll be able to work with people who will then be able to multiply your impact, as part of the community. That then leads to transformational changes in the community.
A total of 1,160 graduates received certificates in various disciplines, with 3 PhDs. The ceremony was characterized by numerous activities, not forgetting the jubilant mode exhibited by the graduates and the parents.
A lot of discrepancy and doubts in procurement officers. Sometimes they say they make shortcuts to do these procurement processes. But my work would be effective to see that it's effectively done in accordance with our regulations, set regulations, and that is none other than Procurement Act 2003.
Mary Namkose, Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC News.
Now, the National Unity Platform NOP Party President Robert Chagulanyi has questioned why Uganda Police Force is interested in the political curriculum of NUP Leadership School. Police this week invited the NUP leadership to clarify on the status of the said political school in Kamocha. Chagulanyi addressed Parliament this Friday at NUP headquarters in Kamocha.
As a whole,
that the young men and women in Kenya have, as we have seen, captured our imagination and the imagination of the continent and the world by standing up strongly, peaceful and unarmed to resist a bill that would put another financial burden on their shoulders. United by a common desire for a future that works for them, Kenya's young generation, the Gen Z, marched with determination to Parliament and then into Parliament.
Among the events unfolding include Lubiji Wetland evictions.
I've seen our people displaced in Lubiji, in Nansana, in Abweru, and many other places. We are still concerned about the manner in which NEMA conducted itself. Whether it is right or wrong, it was supposed to deal with these people in a humane way, giving them human dignity and taking into consideration their economic situation.
Also discussed here was arrest of former Deputy RCC of Rubaga Division, Anderson Borora, who is in court battling alleged charges of hate speech.
Today, Borora is in prison on the same trumped-up charges. Of course, we criticize that lawlessness. And yes, we call for his freedom.
Mr. Kyagulanyi also responded to the continuous attacks by a section of politicians that the National Unity Platform Party accommodates drug addicts. Recently, the Uganda Police Force invited the NUP leadership to clarify on the status of the curriculum being offered at the NUP Leadership School based in Kamwocha.
As part of the solution, we opened the NUP School of Leadership in our old headquarters in Kamwocha. And like I said at the ceremony, we intended to nurture a new breed of leaders that respect their offices and the people that put them in their offices. Of course, police has summoned us to apparently explain what we teach in that school.
Kyagulanyi has downplayed this invitation, saying the school is part of a democratic process and adds credit to the political space of Uganda.
I want to confirm to you, the people of Vondibujo, the people of Ntungamo, the people of Ishaka, the people of Bushenyi, the people of Rukunjiri, Isinjiro, tulio muhanda ni tuisha.
Mary Namkose, Jamil Sekadja, UBC News.
Now, National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, has demolished an illegal development that was erected by the company owned by Chinese Taishan International Development Limited in Walumanyi, Maya, and Sanji. Taishan Investment Development Limited illegally acquired the land from one Haji Yusuf Ziwa, who had been cleared to start a recreational center in 2020 but failed.
The National Environment Management Authority NEMA has demolished an illegal development by Taishan International Development Limited in Bujasi, Maya. The structure that was demolished belonged to 3 investors who are shareholders of Taishan Company, all of Chinese descent.
According to the certificate I have, it had to be a recreation ground. But I think they diverted from a recreation ground to something else. So that's caused a problem. But I think
the company had been served a 21-day restoration order, which expired on Wednesday, and they did not appeal. The company illegally acquired the land from one Haji Yusufu, who had been cleared by NEMA in 2020 and given a 5-year certificate to start a recreational center.
First of all, NEMA was not aware of them until when we came here. We saw this building coming up, and there was a one Haji Yusuf Ziwa, who originally owned this land.
Before secretly selling part of this wetland to the Chinese, Haji Yusuf Ziwai's certificate of compliance had automatically expired after he failed to develop the site within the recommended 2 years.
Taishan International Development Company Limited does not have a NEMA certificate of approval.
After forging the certificate of operation, Taishani Company illegally started backfilling the wetland, built a perimeter wall and blocked water flow into the wetland, something that is against the wetland protection. According to the National Environment Management Authority, Taishan directors were never known to them because they illegally acquired part of Walumanyi wetland from an individual and not a NEMA.
We did not know about it. We just found them here when they were constructing. That's when we started engaging. We started engaging with them, and we found out they were waiving a certificate of approval. We looked at the certificate. It was a fake certificate.
As an intervention, NEMA arrested 2 of the directors but were released on bond. The litigation process against the 3 directors is also ongoing.
2 of them are in our hands. But then they have a police bond. We are still preparing their file to take them for prosecution. I would like to warn Ugandans that 1, faking a document is illegal, but also disturbing the peace of a wetland is illegal.
The portion of Walumanyi wetland that has been backfilled by Taishan Company measures 3.1 acres. NEMA has cautioned all individuals involved in unscrupulous transactions with purporting investors.
We have been telling them that the law does not discriminate. This is one of the examples, the main examples you're about to see. These are rich people. It's a rich company from foreign land, but they were doing the wrong thing.
Nonetheless, on the other side of the wetland are some factories said to belong to one Freeman Chimba and others littering in the same wetland. Susan Naung and Stephen Kalisha reporting for EBC TV.
Now, Uganda Cancer Institute has commissioned a project at Monologue Hill unveiling plans for a post-Iran emission tomography PET center alongside an eco garden and a house tank. The initiative marks the second phase of a PET molecular imaging project aimed at enhancing diagnostic capabilities for various medical conditions, including cancer.
The Rotary Cancer Run is scheduled to take place on 25th August at the Independence Grounds in Kololo. Stephen Mwanje, Cancer Run coordinator, highlighted that annually 35,000 people in Uganda are diagnosed with cancer, with 22,000 of these cases resulting into death due to late diagnosis. He emphasized the importance of early detection and screening.
In other words, the earlier you know about your state, your situation, the higher the chances of survival. And this responsibility is for all of us. All of us know how bad AIDS was in the 80s and 90s. There's nothing to hide. We can do the same about cancer. We can have cancer discussions on the dining tables with our children as we have our meals. So that when you create awareness, then you increase the chances of survival.
Since inception of the race in 2012, the Rotary Cancer Run has achieved significant milestones, including the construction of a cancer ward at Nsambya Hospital. However, more than 9 billion Uganda shillings is needed to install essential equipment for treating cancer patients.
Now we are putting up 2 bunkers because you need 2 machines, because one can break down anytime. Now those things cost a lot of money. $4.5 million. Before we talk of equipment. But we've moved the journey.
Centenary Bank Managing Director Fabian Kasi also spoke at the event, underscoring the global prevalence and danger of cancer, which prompted their partnership with Rotary to combat the disease.
Cancer remains one of the leading health challenges globally. We've gone through this over and over again. And at Centenary Bank, we believe that giving back to the community and supporting initiatives that promote health and well-being of the people is, kind of an obligation. As you know, Centenary Bank is founded by the church.
And put up something that can help try to reduce or treat. We really felt that we need to at least come in where possible, and therefore we decided to give a piece of land so that we can boost the members who would want to join the run and at least boost competition.
And so far, we have close to 3,000 that have already registered to have the kit. Our target is 60,000.
The Rotary Cancer Run 2024 will mark the 12th edition of the event, aiming to raise awareness about the dangers of cancer. Mary Namkose, Jamil Sekaja, UBC News.
Well, we do apologize before we go for that break. It wasn't the story about the commissioning of the post-Iran emission tomography center at Monologue Hill. That was rather a story about a cancer run where the Rotary Cancer Run coordinator, Stephen Mwanje, was urging Ugandans to get screened for cancer to enable early diagnosis and treatment. We now take a short break. We will return with the business stories. Welcome back from that short break. Let's delve into the world of business where Mcash Uganda Limited have been rewarded a Paytech award as recognition for the best contribution to the economic mobility and payments. This was attributed to the latest innovation e-voucher solution that Mcash built for the World Bank Agriculture Cluster Development Project, committed to serve underserved. And into sports, Uganda Athletics Federation has released its final squad to represent at the Paris 2024 Olympics. Let's hear more from John Barnes Centum.
Ugandans have today learned the athletics team that will represent the nation at the Olympics that start on 26th July.
The qualification period ran up to 30th of June for many of the events except marathon. For marathon, it ended 5th of May.
The team announcement was at Uganda Athletics Federation head office in Kampala and done by its president, Dominico Tuchet.
Government of Uganda, through National Council of Sport, they supported us a lot. I also acknowledge and thank the Uganda Olympic Committee, because through our NOC, Uganda Olympic Committee, a number of our athletes, 7 in number, benefited from the Olympic Solidarity Grant and the ANOCA Grant.
The men on the team are Tassis Orogot, Tom Dradriga, Jacob Kiplimo, Joshua Cheptegei, Oscar Chelimo, Martin Kiprotich, Leonard Chemonges, Victor Kiplangat, Stephen Kisa, and Andrew Rotich.
This process was through ranking, and I didn't expect, by ranking any day, any minute, you can be plugged out. So that's why I was quiet until the last minute. It wasn't easy from the start, because I started well. Reaching in April, I got some injury. That let me down for like 2 months. So I just recovered of recent. That's when I went, and I didn't perform well in Douala, but I'm happy that I made it to finals and I came with something.
The women's squad has Halima Nakai, Winnie Nanyondo, Joy Cheptoyak, Esther Chebet, Sarah Chelangat, Annette Chelangat, Peruth Chemtai, Stella Chesang, Maslin Chelangat, and Rebecca Cheptegei. On standby are 2 ladies, Belinda Chemutai, who may seal a slot by ranking, and Lois Chekwemoi, who awaits news if regional champions are accepted at the Games in Paris. The coaching team is led by the experience of Benjamin Injia and has Peter Chelangat, Grace Chesang, Faustino Kiwa, and Paul Okello. It should be noted that athletics has over the years dominated the podium for Uganda, with the last outing in Japan registering 4 medals from runners. Uganda will be represented by at least 24 athletes, with the others being cyclist Charles Kajimu, rower Kathleen Noble, and the 2 swimmers Jesse Sengonzi and Gloria Muzito.
Thank you once again for choosing us. My name is Patricia Lukomwa. It has been a great session with you in our bulletin. Elizabeth Nakakone is with us on sign language, and we hope to catch up with you again at 10 o'clock. Stay with us.